10 years ago to this day is when I got my DNA test results. The very first thing I found was a half-sister. And I had actually met that half-sister a year prior. We were both donor conceived and we had totally different donor codes. When she thought we looked similar, I completely wrote it off because she was from a different state and had a different donor code. At that stage, I still thought there's no way that clinics send gametes interstate and there's no way there could be a different donor code. All my siblings will share my donor code. I knew there were 14 of them. DNA tests were kind of still expensive at that time. They weren't really like the $89 specials or St. Patrick's Day specials or Father's Day specials. I didn't expect to find a sister. We met and then were sharing information from then on. Actually, her sharing medical information with me has already extended my life. I've been able to have a few health checks that if I didn't have, wouldn't have been good news for me now at 35. I'm really, really grateful for having that information. And since then, we've been trying to get that medical information to other siblings, but we haven't been allowed to. I didn't think it would be such a mammoth Sisyphean task to get that information to siblings. It made sense. If there's known genetic medical information that could negatively impact our siblings' lives, that of course a clinic would give that to them. Of course they would share that information with them. The only effort that clinics have made in the last 8 years of us knowing that information is to send one letter in 2018 to addresses that the clinics had on file to my siblings' parents. Now, if that letter was trying to reach me, they would have sent a letter to my mother at the address that she had me, which she'd moved interstate by the time I was 3, and she passed away in 2009. So there's absolutely no way that that information would have reached me unless I did DNA testing. And no one thinks they're part of a group like this. There's definitely a sense of like, this could never happen to me, or this kind of situation or scenario could never happen to me. I thought I was going to find a few siblings. I thought I'd find a nice, healthy, altruistic guy, or market donors as being one type of person. That's absolutely not what I've found out. My biological father doesn't really fit into any box a clinic has ever sort of advertised. I found like way more complexities than I could have ever imagined. Even though it's really hard to know all of the information, or all the information I've found so far, there is no way that I would prefer to be in the dark about it and not have the health information that came along with all the rest of the information. If you're donor conceived, or even if you're IVF conceived and you're considering doing DNA testing, even if you look like me, our noses are the same. Our eyebrows are the same, where one's higher than the other. My eyelashes are the same as yours. Anything like that. I can't imagine it any other way where I didn't do DNA testing. I understand that it's giving away part of your personal information, but I've gained extra years on my life in exchange for that. And that feels like a good trade. And so it's like a 10-year anniversary of known siblingship with my first sibling.